Well, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 15th of June. Can we even imagine that we got to, well, the middle of the year? That's what I'd call it, the middle of the year. And the year's only just begun, hasn't it? Really, that's how it feels. It's fantastic to see everybody here this morning. Please, if you know how, hit the share button at the bottom. If you're not a member of MJ's House, you can click on MJ's House at the top and make yourself a member. You can share, you can invite other people. There's all sorts of wild things. You can smash on somebody's face, maybe mine. I'm just going to smash on it, and you smash on your own face. There we are. Smash on your own face. And if you want to put a GIF, for example, that one that says good morning and there's a coffee, do it. I'm talking to those people on Clubhouse, people on other forms of social media. Please don't smash on your face if you are on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on YouTube or on Twitch, which is a change today. We're not on Twitter, we're on Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is, it's a gaming platform, and I do Animal Crossing therapy there. If you don't know what that is, then you haven't lived. And if you want some therapy, then you should reach out. And Animal Crossing psychotherapy is probably the best walkthrough therapy that anyone's ever experienced. I'm a little bit biased because I created it. Don't tell Nintendo. You know what they're going to do, don't you, if they do? They're going to ask me to brand it, or they're going to bar me from it. But basically, Animal Crossing therapy is when somebody's on Animal Crossing and I'm on Animal Crossing too, and we go onto each other's islands, and then we talk while we walk, and we garden, and we play. So I will now talk about what happens when we are present. Today is entitled Presence is a Gift, or Presents are a Gift. And if you come on Animal Crossing, we give each other presents. I can give you apple seeds, you can give me pears, we can grow them together on each other's islands, and we can tend our garden together. I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful for this day. And if you've been in the shower already this morning, did you bless the water? And I mean that seriously, because when we thank the water for the journey it's taken to get here, when we bless the water that we drink, in fact, I'm just going to take a sip now. And I've already blessed this water. The water that we bless, when we freeze it, the fractals in the ice show what we asked from it, what we said to it. When we freeze water that we've shouted at, its fractals are jagged, they're misaligned, they're chaotic. When we bless water and we freeze it, look it up, you will find beautiful flowing patterns, sometimes a heart shape. This morning I made my coffee, I blessed the water before I poured it, and when I put the goat's milk in the top, a heart shape formed. I should have taken a photo, but I don't need to, because the water and I have an understanding, and that's called presence. The presents from the universe are given to me because of my presence in the moment. So, good morning, beautiful people. I want to talk about presence. Now, I'm in a hotel. I arrived at the hotel on Friday and the lift was broken. So I moved to a new one, and it was fantastic. I remained present. Not perfect, not performative, not pretending. I was present. I explained to the hotel manager that I was not going to stay there because I couldn't use a bathroom for 3 days. I was going to move hotels, and it was coordinated, and I'm in a wonderful hotel. I had a beautiful weekend, and we raised a lot of money at the weekend. I'm going to talk about that in a while. But first, presence. Look, life isn't built in giant leaps. So if you think it is, you're wrong. It's built in ordinary days and the simple act of showing up. And you've shown up today. So congratulations to all of you on social media, on here on Clubhouse, and showing up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Look, when you stack enough of those days, those actions, that presence, I promise you something extraordinary begins to emerge. A beautiful, system. That's what I've been doing. Day by day, certainly since I passed away in 2020 and then came back again and again. Step by step, or maybe revolution by revolution, because I roll through the world. That's just how I roll, folks. Sometimes I have joy, sometimes it's done with fear, sometimes it's in tears, but it's always, always, always with presence. Last Friday, I came to London. On Saturday evening, our team gathered. Our team for our God in Action Uganda project. And we raised thousands of pounds towards the farm project in one evening. I'm a little bit emotional. We raised almost half of what we originally raised. But the miracle wasn't Saturday night. The miracle was every ordinary day that came before it. Alexia was there when Mandela first came into the room on Clubhouse here. She'll talk about it later. 5 years of conversations, 5 years of hope and learning and setbacks and remaining present. Because, in my opinion, presence is saying, I am still here. I am still building. I am still becoming. And whilst I've been building projects, I've also been building myself. You know that. You've seen it. Almost another degree is complete. One final placement remains. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and I remain curious. I've been reading recently a book by Dr. Glyn Hudson Allais. I'll say it again. Dr. Glyn Hudson Allais. Infant Losses, Adult Searches. It explores something profound. That our earliest experiences, even those in utero, shape our brains. Attachment isn't just emotional. Attachment is how we communicate with other people. Attachment is how we secure relationships. Attachment is how actually the architecture of our brain is created. The developing pattern grows in response to relationship. And many of the patterns, in fact, pretty much all of them, that we carry into adulthood were once ingenious survival strategies. The body's always asking, am I safe? Will they leave? Do I need to perform? Do I need to please? Many of these patterns begin before language. In utero, as I said, because trauma isn't just what happened. Trauma is what happened inside us because of what happened around us. The example in Glyn's book is of the subject of her book, Derek. And there is a visceral description of Derek in uterus, hearing the screams of his mother, feeling the thump to her stomach and her slumping to the floor, and him startled, reaching out to hold on to something that might be there. His birth and the following conversations, her saying to him, Derek, please don't, you know what he's like when he's had a few, and him shouting, get in here, woman. Trauma is what happened inside us because of what happened around us. But here's the good news. Whatever happened to us, the body remembers, but the body can relearn. The brain can change. Neuroplasticity is hope written into biology. And every time we choose presence, breath, peace, love, rest, nourishment, movement, support, we are teaching our body a new song. Some of us are not just changing habits. We're rebuilding generations, creating new pathways and becoming gardeners of our own mind. And I know this personally. What I didn't realize before I read Glyn's book, Infant Losses, Adult Searches, if you weren't here when I mentioned it, I didn't realize that actually when they say the sins of the father are revisited on the children, it's absolutely true. What we know is that children of parents who were in the Holocaust, whose parents didn't tell them about their early trauma, and then they were born, well, their adult lives show that their bodies knew of the trauma their parents went through, even after they went through it and without any information. It's a ridiculous figure, but the chaotic and the chaotic lifestyle and the traumatic responses and the personality disorders and the difficulty with managing and the chaotic attachment, about 5% of people have a chaotic attachment. Those children are born of people who were in chaos. So it means if your mum was in war and then you're born after that, you will play out. You will play out the survival techniques that she hasn't yet embodied. So all of the individuals that are arriving in different countries, displaced from their countries, will carry out their maladapted conditioning, their maladapted attachment, unless we provide them therapy. We're providing them food, we're providing them shelter, we're providing them work. But if we don't provide therapy, if we don't provide processing the trauma, then their children, they may know not to shoot each other. They may know not to become extreme, but their children, even if they don't know about the trauma that their parents went through, they will carry out the trauma more likely. And we're the same. Remaining present for me has required courage, learning, movement, healing, rest, huge amounts of reflection, and enormous grace. Because healing's not an event. Healing is a relationship. Now, importantly, that's why I honor those who have lifted me, and there have been many. My mentors, my coaches, my teachers, my friends, my guides, and every gift seen and unseen, because none of us arrive here alone. In fact, Isaac Newton said, "If I have seen further, it is only by standing on the shoulder of giants." And when we honor those who help us rise, we become the shoulders upon which others stand. Life then flows, and love flows, the most important and only thing I believe in existence. Contribution flows, and when we flow, we create and we become fully alive. Perhaps that's the secret. To be present. Not striving like we're told. Not hustling. Not exhausting ourselves. But learning to move with life. trusting that it's all going to work out, growing through the things we go through, celebrating them, celebrating in our misery, celebrating in our chaos, celebrating in the crisis, remaining present, fully present. And finally, I promise you, my friends, presence becomes purpose. And when that happens, purpose becomes contribution. I'm going to say it here and now because I think it warrants it. On Friday, we played a video and asked if this video touched you, if you believe every child deserves food, if you believe education changes destinies, and if you believe skills create freedom, then I invite you to join us. However you want to do that. For the last 5 years, we've worked alongside God in Action Uganda and Mandela Salim Baluma to build something sustainable. Not dependency. He didn't want a handout. They wanted a hand up. Not charity without dignity. The money wasn't thrown in Uganda and we didn't know what happened. But it was provided with roots and it created wings. We raised money on this very platform in a 24-hour summit to build a farm. We bought a farm, we got the deeds, we built a road to the farm, we built a well, we dug a well, and there are many, many videos on God in Action Uganda, you can look it up on social media, where they are dancing in the water when the well finally struck water. We rented a home for the 101 children that we support. We continued feeding 46 elders, and my personal assistant, Charles, went out to Uganda to see where the money went. And I am funded by the International Federation of Social Workers next year to go out to Uganda and produce a report. On Saturday night, we raised, well, thousands of pounds. We asked people to sponsor a child for £20 a month. One of our children can eat 4 a month, because no child learns well with an empty tummy. We explain that for £40 a month, £10 a week, we can help one of our children eat and attend school. We take it for granted in this country, don't we? But school costs in Uganda, because education opens doors poverty tries to keep shut. And for £60 a month, we help a child eat and go to school and learn a skill. We have carpenters, we have people that are making bags, shoes, clothes. We have young people who are tending chickens and goats and sheep and birthing cows and planting peanuts. And we've just about to take the second peanut crop, and the first one yielded 4,500 English pounds, which paid for their school fees for a year. Because skills create independence, and independence creates hope. Margaret Mead, who I often think about, and you can look her up, said something really profound that you may have heard before. She said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Perhaps that group is not just in me, but it's in us. Perhaps this is God in Action's time. I know it is. And maybe if you want to, you can go and look and find the Go Just Giving, Go Giving, whatever it's called, link, and make a donation or a one-off payment. But I support a child every month, and I do it because it's a declaration for me. And as a Senko and a therapist and a social worker that's almost finished her training, children matter. I'm a mum. I'm a mum to 3. I'm maid to. I fostered and 101 in Uganda, I say. I know that communities matter. I know that love in action matters. So please, if you do want to donate or you do want to look at what we've done, it's godinaction.com, godinactionuganda.com. And to donate, it's /donate. But today, as I think about presence and remaining present, and whether we're present and how present we can be, you're not behind, and neither am I. You're becoming. And presence is a sacred thing, not secret. Staying present means for me breathing. Breath work is really important if you want to know about it. I work with a chap called Tom Heron, who's a fantastic breath coach, and it has changed the way that my brain operates. It builds the system, and you must build it every day. People who get overwhelmed by the things that they're trying to create need to downgrade their ideas. Now, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Build your dreams and downgrade your ideas. Why? Well, because if you think too big and you dream too big, then you become paralyzed by the hugeness of your dream. So dream big and act small. Take one meaningful step towards the thing, this big dream that you have, and make sure you're taking one minuscule step, whether that's showing up on social media and learning how to speak. And I've been on speaking and mastery courses. I've been to Speaking University. I've done my coach's Pete Cohen Speaking Academy. And now we are about to create a speaking academy between he and I. Because for 5 years, I have shown up, I have built my skills, and I have remained committed to a presence, to remaining present, to putting in the hours. I think I have something like 600 hours of social media footage, which I prepare every week. I don't just walk in these rooms and say what I feel like. I prepare, having reflected on my week and seeing what's important now and today. Well, it's a gift, isn't it? The day is a gift, especially if you remain present. That's why presence is a gift. And honor your teachers. Honor the ones that came before you. Honor the ones that lifted you up. Remember those teachers, the mentors, the people, the friends, those that you met that changed your trajectory. Because when we honor those who honored us, well, that honor just moves forward. It blesses our journey. It helps us move with the river of life, with the water that flows, that honors in a shower, to the water, reminds me, that we drink every day. Bless your water, I said at the beginning, because, and I'll reiterate, when we bless water and then we freeze it, it's beautiful. When we shout at water and freeze it, its fractals are chaotic, disorganized, a bit like the baby in utero. We're 70% water. Move with the river. Keep flowing. Keep growing. Keep showing up for yourself as well as everyone else. Because the world needs what only you can bring. It's your onlyness. You are unique. There is no other you. That's why we're individual. That's how we understand that we are here magnificently and, well, amazingly. The statistics of you being here are huge numbers to one. You are important, and when you remain present with yourself, maybe you do 60 seconds of circular breathing. 2 minutes of it, and you've oxygenated your brain. When you oxygenate your brain, funnily enough, it works a bit better. Your ownness is evolved, is created, is presented from your presence. When you are present, I believe you are a magnetic attraction to what is for you, and what is for you does not pass you by. And everything that happens to you is for a purpose. That's my belief. That's my experience. That's been my lifelong experience. That what I've gone through, I've grown through, and I've experienced it in order to teach me what it was I needed to learn. And when I don't learn the lesson, it repeats. I call it cul-de-sac behavior. Oh, here we go. MJ goes round a cul-de-sac again. It might be a roundabout. It might be a merry-go-round. But it's another iteration of the same story, giving me the same outcome. And you know what they say? If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. So don't imagine that if you carry on doing the same thing, you're going to get a different outcome. That's the definition of madness, right? So today, let's try some presents. I remained present on Saturday, and I felt that every person I spoke to was imbued with the love of the services that we provide, of the provision that we've worked towards. The farm, the tractor, the trailer, the housing, the well, the crops, the animals, and now eventually the visits and the therapy for these children who are orphans and who have gone through trauma. We can provide their house, we can provide their job, we can provide their school, but if we don't tackle the trauma, then it will go on for generations and generations. Be the generational one, the one that breaks the generational code. If your family has something in it which has gone on for generations that you don't like, be the one that breaks it. Make a choice for yourself to be present. So if you believe that presence is a gift and you want some help with that, and you happen to have a disability in the UK, then get in touch, because we have presents for you. Literally, we have presents for you. Just like we took presents to our children in Uganda at Christmas, and they had a Christmas party, and they had presents, and they had all sorts of things. And they had a party with banners and streams and streaming, and they've got a TV now, which I'm not sure is a good idea, but there we are. They had cartoons, and they had joy, and they had presents. If you believe in presents, then come and see us. I'm going to pop the link in the chat because I haven't put it on the house this morning, but it's www.a2w.me, access to work me, because not very many people know that to thrive in the UK as a disabled person, doing some workfulness is purpose, and purpose is practice. And practice creates hope, and movement, whether it's mental or physical, creates hope molecules, and they keep us present and help us with neuroplasticity. So if you would like to join us in Uganda, if you would like to contribute to the project, if you would like to know anything else about it, if you would like to see my videos about Mandela, if you would like to join us on a Sunday morning, every other Sunday at 8 o'clock, our management team, our fundraising team meets, and we are looking for someone to help us with our, recording of the donators, of the donors, and their names and addresses, and send them out updates, and to update them about each child that they sponsor and about the progress on the farm. We are looking basically for someone who can help. So if you know anyone that wants to do some voluntary work, please shout up, because we're looking for an extra member of the team, someone who's organized, somebody who can keep records, somebody who can make good update emails to everybody. That's what we're looking for next. And we're always looking for donors. We're also looking for builders. We're also looking for people to come out with me to Uganda to build. And on Saturday, it was the Masonic Lodge Ladies' Night, and that's where we raised nearly half of the money we raised originally in our 24-hour summit. And many of the Masons are coming out with us to build, and many of the Lady Masons are adopting our charity to feed forward into some more fundraising. And I couldn't be more grateful to the Masons. Do you know the Masons is the second largest charity in the UK behind the National Lottery? And their motto is making good men better. As above, so below. So if you know anyone that can support, if you're a builder, if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, if you're an architect, if you're a nurse, a doctor, a midwife, a social worker, a psychotherapist, if you're just a person that wants to help and you can raise your own funds to get your flight out there and pay for your accommodation, then we want you. And we'll help you. We'll help you to do that. We're growing the team and we're building the dream, and the children are grateful and they're growing. And some of our children are now doing better in school than some of the privately educated children in the top schools, because they are fed and housed and given to in love, with presence, with joy. I usually speak for about half of this, so I'm going to say, well, not over and out, but adieu. I'm going to speak to Alexia and then I'm going to run away early because I'm in the Hilton. I'm going down for breakfast, but I start work prompt 9 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet. I have, however, already exercised, journaled, taken my supplement stack, had a shower, done 2 hours case management, because I get up for my day. I start my day every day with intention to be present, to be ready for change, to be ready for development, and to be ready to be a gift to the world. So enjoy being a gift today. And Alexia, the good news is that we raised nearly half of what we originally raised, and the children are going to be going to school for another year. And we unfortunately have had to move from the Cocos Foundation, which was a partner charity, to a different one because the Cocos Foundation has had to close due to Chris's ill health. But we did receive the Just Giving money from the Cocos, which helped us survive another month for school. But our 101 children we had 67 people donating. Many of them were anonymous. And as the Coco Foundation closed, their payments closed. We currently only have £250 a month coming in for those donors that weren't anonymous. So we have to begin again, not from scratch, but from quite an early place. So we are desperately seeking £20 a month for at least 80 of our children, who at the moment we are funding really with the peanuts, with the fundraising on Saturday, and with the efforts that we're making individually. 3 of our the management team of the charity here in the UK that are heading this went and climbed Mount Snowdon. One that just had a chest infection, actually pneumonia, another who has Parkinson's, and another with cerebral palsy, and they all made it. Amazing. They raised some money that helped, and then we did Saturday night, and we have a few donors that were on Clubhouse that have realised that their donations have stopped and they've contacted me. But we are seeking people to help our children. So, please put it out there. But before I talk about this morning's present, you're a gift, my love. How are you?
Yeah, I'm a bit bewildered, as you know. Life brings us challenges, and it's how you deal with them that makes a difference, whether it's dealing with the children with Mandela or whether it's dealing with what goes on in your own life. But what you said about stopping and breathing, and you also brought up something last week, you brought up tapping. Are 2 things that you can do in the middle of a meeting that nobody knows what you're doing, just to release your stress levels.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when we get in those awkward meetings, we really do find a challenge. And it's how you deal with those challenges. I've just put my post out this week about the planet, and I'm so proud of the people in this immediate area who, just like Mandela, had the determination to help those children, to show how change can happen. Because I went out and checked the street this morning with Belle. I had to pick up a couple of things, but I needn't have bothered because there were only a couple of bits of paper. I was out for 2 hours yesterday, but I did double the area. I did pay for it, walk afterwards. But it's the challenge of doing these things that makes change happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that so much as you have, fighting to set up this property business. You know, when you went back to fight to get your business back up and running, it took months, it took a good couple of years. And it's staying committed that makes that change happen. But the important thing is to do some kind of giving, even if you can't afford to give financially.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways you can give. Go and help a neighbour. Go and keep the street clean. Go and walk somebody's dog who can't walk it. There's so many things you can do that help others, and that will come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can prove that in the fact that where I live now, when I was actually broken, I had nothing from the fraud, I went and worked for a charity and ended up as a manager.
Exactly.
Doors open for you if you take action. It doesn't always have to be big action. It doesn't always have to be big things. I'm so proud of what people have achieved in and around this area. That's what I'm going to make next Monday's post about, because they need a pat on the back.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
The housing where they weren't playing ball. And I got a bit hardball. Guess what? I walked it all week and picked up hardly anything. They just needed a bit of a push.
Mm.
And it has made such a difference to their lives, and there's less problems. Taking action is what makes a difference.
It does indeed. Sorry, darling.
He's had to step back. But maybe universe, God, however you want to put it, is telling him it's time to put his life in a different direction. Life will do this to you. You've talked about your story of what happened to you. I've talked about my story of what happened to me. One of the things you brought up was about the traumas of not talking about what goes on if you've been through a war situation. I was married to somebody who was much older than me, who was a prisoner of war. And most of the time, he could cope with it. He did tell me some of what happened to him during the war. And believe you me, I won't discuss it here because it's not nice. It wasn't nice what they did to him. But he had that determination that he wasn't going to sit back and say, I've been beaten up, I'm in pain, I can't do. He learned how to cut people's hair, he learned how to mend people's shoes. We're forgetting how to physically do things and waiting for somebody else to do it. The world doesn't work like that. It wants you to show it you care. When you do that, oh boy, can things take off. How long have you been fighting for me to get access to work back?
About a year?
Yeah, we're just about coming up to the year. It's taken nearly 7, 8, 9 months to get the paperwork that I need, to get the mortgage that I need to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got an email late on Friday to say that the council signed the paperwork off. I won't actually get it. But until the mortgage company actually do confirm they will do it, there's no way I'll know until I've got that piece of paper.
Amazing.
I will let you have the information about that because it might be useful in some of the background things you do. And I can't think of the name right now. You know what? I'm not, my brain's having an off day. The organisation that I donate to now and again they might also be able to help the Mandela Foundation.
Oh wow!
Area, so it would be. I will remind you what that is. It'd be worth contacting them. I like it because just like donating to Mandela, I can see where the money's going.
Exactly.
And they have to agree to pay it back when it might only be £1 at a time. And you might not get that for a year, 2 years. But I've donated to 3 others that have cost me nothing because it's come from money that's come back. So I'll remind you of the details of that, and it would be worth having a talk to them because they may well be able to help. And they also have the people to come in with the knowledge and background, probably of helping some of the older kids set up their own businesses as they grow and change.
Exactly, and we're getting there. We've got some that are in that position now. Obviously, we're years on, and some of them were like 12, 13. So indeed, we've got they're building, they're learning to build. I've seen them bricklaying, I've seen them roofing, I've seen them painting.
Yeah, all these things. We don't all yet. We need the modern technology, but just a reminder to people: before you go and buy that new thing, what do you? The old one. Please think of that first. Or ask if it's a big appliance that the company you're buying from will dispose of the other one properly. The company that I want the mortgage from will only agree to give me the mortgage if the properties I deal with are sustainable. If they're not, they won't do it. So even the property business is going that way. The law is going that way. And it's about. So giving back. Come on, it's going to be summer. The kids are going to be on holiday. Don't moan if your park's not clean. Go out there and pick it up.
Absolutely. I said this over the weekend. You know, it's easy to moan, groan, complain, and blame, but acting is a choice. And I choose to continue with God in Action Uganda and that project. And the gift of that for me is like the gift of you seeing your road clean. When I know there's a child that's, just passed their exams, or, they've reconnected with a family, or they are moving into some skill, or they are, greeting a new calf, or like the peanuts this week that we're about to harvest, that there may be another, last time it was £4,500. And then on Saturday we raised, quite a lot. And then the property company that Jodie, who's a colleague of mine in that group, works with, and she works with property and property companies, so you should really connect with Jodie. Honestly, Alexia, she's a beautiful girl. I went to her wedding only a few weeks ago. She's an incredible lady, and her family are incredible too, and they're in property as well. So because she's in that, she took Pete to one of her property events, and now those individuals are building a fund for building a building fund, and I think there's £4,500 already in that building fund, and some of those builders and property managers and developers are coming over. So we're building an army, and it comes from sharing and caring, and then those people with their skills providing them, and whether that's going out into the street and picking up some cigarette ends or paper, or whether that's keeping a record of our donors, or whatever it is. When you give, as you know, you get back thricefold.
Oh, God. But I think the important thing is, you and I have said this so many times, don't necessarily expect it.
No.
It's when the universe feels the time is right.
100%.
Like that, it will go belly up. It will go wrong. You'll have so many problems. It can be almost unmanageable.
Exactly.
Right. I've been trying to do what we've been doing to get the access to work back, to get the property business up and running. I could have let it pull me down because my health has been up and down. I'm not a spring chicken.
You're not 21.
I mean, I did 2 hours walking yesterday with the walker, and maybe I shouldn't have done it because I was in absolute agony. I was in hell on wheels after that, but you know what I mean.
I do.
Have the same mentality. I'll do it anyway. I can do it. I will my body to do it. But then we do, when we get pushed hard enough, to remember to stop.
Absolutely.
Rest to rebalance itself.
What I've had to do on yesterday, I was asleep by 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I slept all afternoon. I only woke up for an hour in between, and honestly, it was beautiful.
What disability means. If you adapt that to when you get older, I could never understand why John was, when he was getting older, why sometimes he'd fall asleep in the afternoon. I do understand it now. You can't understand it when you're younger, but it's a good lesson to learn. A good doctor, all the old doctors will have told you that take an hour off in the afternoon, especially if you just put that time aside. Yet sometimes you and I know you can't do it, but you can put that time aside. Unusual times.
Well, when we're in motivation, that's great, but we have to go into rest and digest.
We do, because your body is your car.
It is.
That is out of balance. That is where you can get mental health issues, physical issues. It's all interlinked. It's all interlinked. Out on this planet, we all finish on this planet. So the chain that you build, if you want to think of oh God, what's the Pagan? What you put out comes back to you. You build a chain of I'm not giving to anything, I'm not doing anything.
You know what you'll get back.
You know what you'll get back. I just donated last week to the company that I can't think of right now. Lend with Care.
There we go.
You see, this is, you understand what's going on in my brain, everybody else won't. But I donated to them, and I really felt I couldn't afford to do it. And I did it. And I went to my bank account, and I got some money in my account that I didn't expect.
Always. My
fence it's been threatening to fall down, and Daniel's going to have to do it today because it literally is nearly on the floor. I wasn't going to have a loose dog. But because I've done that giving, and I didn't do that giving just
to get, no.
Money was there to do it. I'd had an email from the person who's been doing this specialised paperwork for the mortgage company. I still haven't heard from them, and then got a message back to say, I've had a message from her. It's signed off. They've agreed it. It's all okay. You'll get the certificate Monday.
Fantastic.
So by doing that giving, it was low. That was why I went out and did the 2 hours, because I felt I'd got to give back. I'm sorry, go back to yourself. But that's another story. This is how we make a difference.
It is. By being present. And then we get a gift. And the gift is being present. So I'm going to finish just for a moment. I'm going to do a quick roundup. Look, remember, to be present requires you to stop and be grateful, to stop and bless the water, to stop and bless the universe for your presence, to stop and bless your parents, your mentors, your coaches, those that have gone before, the people that help you, your loved ones, your friends, your family, those that show up for you. So thank you, Alexia. And remember, we're never behind. We're becoming. And becoming is sacred. To stay present, we should build our system step by step, brick by brick, small action by small action, not a massive thing, because if we dream big but act small, we remain humble. Honour your teachers, bless your journey, move with the flow, with the river of life, and we will keep growing. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep showing up for others like I have this weekend, because the world needs only what you can bring. It needs what only you can bring, I mean. It needs more than what you can bring, but only you can bring what you bring. So have a magnificent week. My laptop's about to run out of charge, and before it does, I'm going to say I have been, well, I think, Captain Motivational Monday. So I will say on that note, over and out. And I will see you next week at the same place, same time, same place. And if you want to donate, then the link is not only above here in Clubhouse, but it's also where I'm pointing my finger on social media. So just in the last 30 seconds, put your camera up to that QR code and go and see God in Action Uganda, because we are creating something beautiful. And those children one day will be visiting this country, I assure you. Maybe even going through university here. And if you want to donate and you want to sponsor one of those children, please click on the link. And don't forget not to be anonymous, or I can't update you about your child. So I love you. I honour you. I bless you. I am you. You are me. We are us. We are everything connected. And I wish you a beautiful week. So over and out from Captain Motivational Monday and Co. We love you. Goodbye.